Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And now to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Happy Devils Sunday! This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, season 4, episode 11, titled Same Old Devils? What fixes would you make? I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Beer Baron, Shorts Guy, and Scotty of Sure Liquid Metal. He told me how he got the job, and that is another story for another day. Streaming live on Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Boys, it was a bad weekend. Bad. I don't. Winston even thinks it's bad.
Yeah, yeah.
But
he's taking it out on that pillow again.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Sunday night, time to rock. How's your dog going over there? What's your dog's name again? Archie?
Archie. He's just chilling. He was being a little wild before, so that's why he's chilling on my lap right now. He was like running around the house. I'm like, we just got the kids to sleep. I'm like, please, dude, just chill out. I'm like, come do the show with me. And so he's like, okay, that's cool.
And there he sits.
And there he sits, chilling out.
And Shorts guy's down the shore. He's getting some getting some ocean time in. All right. What was the thing that you're drinking?
Well, I'm just about to open the new black cherry seltzer from Cape May.
Heck yeah.
But you bring it up getting some ocean time. I actually did jump in the ocean yesterday.
Heck yeah. Did you do the polar bear this year? I was going to ask you.
No. The polar bear plunge got canceled. So here's the story of what I did. I did the polar bear plunge for the first time 5 years ago this month. And I told myself, well, wouldn't it be cool to jump in the ocean once a month for a full year? So all right, cool, let me do it. So I made it to the next polar bear plunge, and then March was the next month, and I was like, after March it gets easy, I'll just keep going. Well, anyway, 5 years go by, and here I am. I've jumped in the ocean once a month, every month for 5 years straight. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so yesterday I came down to beautiful Wildwood, New Jersey, and the streak continues. I'm glad I did it yesterday instead of today, because today was cold and rainy. Whatever. I jumped in. It was cool.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
Is the beach covered in snow still, or is it like pretty much gone down there? There's
Not
like
down
nothing
here.
down there, right?
Yeah, they got a little snow, but there's none around. Like I didn't see any snow today, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah, none here. One of these days I'll be down here for a snowstorm. That's the goal. I'm kind of a weather nerd. My whole family is, so it's like, oh, we need to go to just we all want to see snow on the beach, but we're also from the
cool.
woods and the mountains in New Jersey, so we don't see it often.
Very cool. And Scotty's in California, which is probably like 75 degrees and sunny and wearing shorts on a regular basis. So.
It was 73, but it's breezy. I'm telling you, it's breezy.
Oh, that breeze. That
break out the
chilly breeze
windbreaker.
in California.
It's not California. It's Beverly Hills.
Bourgeois.
It's the home of Bobby the Brain
right.
Heenan.
That's right. So I guess we got to get into the topic at hand and what a terrible weekend it was for Devils hockey.
I thought we were just going to avoid it the whole.
We're just going to avoid it and talk about weather and other fun things, and dogs. And we can do that for an hour for sure. It's not going to be that hard. But I'm
pretty sure there were some episodes over the summer we did that.
100%. Maybe had a few beers, and the next thing you know, we're like, oh, we're off on a sidetrack. Look at that. Hey, look at this beard. It's getting a little thick. I gotta trim it down soon.
Sammy, you're gonna have to start. By the way, hold on. So Sammy's gonna have to start changing your little box name to say Beer Baron and Archie if he's gonna be on the show.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Archie and Archie and the guy that feeds me.
Archie and the human. So I want to jump right into the title of our podcast tonight is what fixes would you make? So I thought about this, which is oddly enough because I was driving home today and I couldn't stop thinking about like what are some of the things that they need to be addressed by this team. And I know everybody wants to jump right into the defensive side of things. Like they want to. There's a lot of people that are calling for the benching of PK Subban. That he's not pulling the weight of his $9 million contract. I'm not going to disagree with that. There's a lot of people that were very excited about Murray, but now Murray's was a healthy scratch, last game, and who knows what that's all about. So, yeah, the defense needs a lot of repair. But what I want to focus on is what's ailing our top line, which is our at one point was starting to heat up, and then all of a sudden just like a switch went off. That line is like cooling down too quickly. And also the kind of like the hole in our lineup, which is the Travis Zajac line. So the Zajac line, which typically is Gusev, Zajac, and enter in A, B, or C, whoever's going to be on that line for the night. Sharon Govich recently. It feels like we have the energy line with our fourth liners that go out there. You have the Zaka line, which has been incredible lately. And then you have the Jack Hughes line, which, you know what, they're going to go through streaks, I feel like, where they're just going to be on fire, and then they're going to like cool down a little bit, and then they'll pick right back up. But they can explode at any point. It's that one line that just feels like there's a void. And I don't know if it's the wings that are causing the void. I don't know if it's Zajac causing the void. I don't know if it's just he's not matching up well with the line on his line mates on that line. But it just feels like there is something missing. And I don't know, you guys could tell me I'm wrong, but I feel like that's the first thing that I would address. And how I address it, bring up somebody like Nolan Foote and give him a chance. Or bring back Nick Merkley, because Merkley seemed like he had a little spark in his step when he was up here. So I don't know, boys. I don't know if I'm grasping at straws on this one or if I'm on the money on it. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, when you look at the numbers, they're not there. I mean, Zajac only has 3 points on the year. Gusev only has 4. Sharon Govich, I know me and Sam were talking about this before. I'm not on the Sharon Govich train because he's played like 14 games and he's only had 4 points. And I know he got a goal today, but I talked about earlier that those 2 goals were lucky goals. They were lucky goals. As we talked about, Danico said, that's one the goaltender would like back. Like they were pretty, I don't see those going in a lot. So I don't know. I am a fan of Nick Merkley. I liked what I saw from him, but you know what? I'm not the coach. Sam and I talked about this earlier. Nolan Foote, Is he someone like Jack Hughes and Ty Smith, where right now it's just better to keep him down in the minors until next year? It could be that situation with him. We don't know. Same thing with Kevin Ball. Maybe don't Riley Walsh. Maybe it is better for those guys to stay down there for this year and learn and make their grand entrance next year. I don't know. But personally, I thought Kuokkanen in a very quiet way, put up 6 points in the games that he was in. Merkley only played 5 games, and he had 3 points. So Malstev, I thought, looked pretty good today. There's going to be some changes. There's got to be, because you're right. That third line has been a hole, and now with Nico seeing how far he's out, let's see. Hopefully Miles Wood is okay. He took a nasty puck in the face right at the end of the game.
Right to the ear. It looks like it hit him in the ear. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know if he's going to miss a game or two with that. Yeah. And you saw right away, everyone, kind of like, call for the trainer. It was, he saw Char like right there, like, uh-oh. So, it didn't look good. Hopefully Miles is okay. We're hoping for him to be okay. But some of these guys are going to get a shot again. We knew injuries were going to happen. We knew the rosters were going to have to flip and stuff like that. But for me personally, I don't know. I guess I'm not on the maybe I'm missing what Sharon Govich is doing, but I don't know. I feel like Merkley had more of a spark. I would love to see Merkley in there with Zajac and maybe Miles Wood. Kuokkanen worked well with Bastian and McLeod in the beginning of the season. I don't know. I'm not Lindy Ruff though. I'm not there. I can't make those decisions. So I'm gonna trust in him. But that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Shorts guy.
Yeah, the one stat that I'm looking at from today's game, and it's something that we spoke about, and I'm sure you guys spoke about in the post game. Our face-off percentage, 30, just short of 33. I will tell you this right now. You cannot get any flow in any game going if you can't win a face-off. If you're down in if you're down in the offensive zone and you lose an offensive zone draw, well, now you got to go fight for that puck instead of setting up a play. If you're in a defensive zone and you lose a defensive zone face-off, well, now you're defending even harder instead of potentially just chipping it out. Power plays won't work. Our power play is not very good to begin with, but if we're not winning face-offs, we're not controlling the power play. If you're not, face-offs are such a key, factor into all of this. We were talking beforehand about what to do with face-offs and who to move to where or potentially move people. They've got to start winning face-offs. You win face-offs, you control the game. You control the puck, and you're better off, within that game. So I think that's a big thing that we got to somehow figure out as a face-off. With 33% today, just about, that's bad. And I can tell you this from the goaltender's point of view: when you're watching your team lose face-off after face-off and not controlling the game, it's kind of like oh, come on, guys, let's control the puck for something. It's a pain in the ass to see because you can't go there and win it. And I've skated out, so I know winning face-offs isn't an easy thing. So I get that. And I know that winning face-offs against another NHL caliber player is difficult as well. But, they've got to figure out that face-off thing. That face-offs are the key to control. If you can't win the face-off, you're not going to control them. That's to me, that's one of the glaring things. That, and third period shots on goal, there were only 5 total, 1 for the Caps and 4 for the Devils. Holy crap. We kept our shots down today. We kept the shots down today, which is nice, which I know we've had some games where we're in the high 30s, low 40s.
There were a lot of high-quality shots today. It was like every single one of them was like a high-quality scoring chance. Hey, by the way, real quick, congratulations to Patty Kane. He just scored his 400th goal. In their sweet, slick black reverse retro jerseys, the Blackhawks.
Nice.
Against the arch-rival Red Wings, too.
That's cool.
But I don't know. Yeah, all the shot quality for Washington today was high. Matt Black did a lot in that first period to keep the Devils in the game.
And that's
what he's
the
done
problem.
A lot. It's what he's done a lot in a lot of games. The Ranger game, it was great we beat the Rangers, but the only reason we beat the Rangers because Matt Black made 50 saves? Like,
Yeah.
holy hell! Like a goalie shouldn't have to make 50 saves in order for you to win a game. Like, I'm glad he did. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see Mac Black make all these saves, but a goalie shouldn't have to make 50 saves. That's just an absurd number. There's been.
I'll pay you on Tuesday.
What are these like Popeye characters or something? Wasn't that one of them?
I'll pay you on Tuesday for a cheeseburger today.
My buddy Rick just texted me. He's like, I'm watching on my phone, and Beer Baron looks like Wimpy. You know, Wimpy from old 217. That guy, where he says 5 minutes
To go.
And then he would yell
Maybe I'll do that when there's 5 minutes to go left in the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. No one knows when there's 5 minutes to go in the podcast because you say, hey, we're going to cut, and 20 minutes later, we're still talking.
Still going. But there's another troubling thing that happens too to Mac Black is he's let in 4 goals in the previous game. He let in 3 goals this game. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, he's not as good as he's letting in all these goals. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, no. You know, you got to look at the quality of shots that he's facing. You know, the goals that are scored on him, are they easy? Are they easy like through the 5-hole type goals? Yeah, exactly. Or like backdoor, wide open shots. You know, like things that happen.
See the Verona play?
Oh,
did you see the Verona play today?
In both games, Verona burned them. Both games.
I'm sorry. That was such a set play too. He just purposely shot it like right into his pads to get a big, and he chased his own rebound. And like it was, oh man, it just looked like a set play. Like he knew exactly what he was going to do there.
They even said that too in the broadcast because they moonsailed that puck right to him, and they just I'm like, why can't we do that with Miles Wood once in a while? Like take the chance on the icing call, just pop it up in the air and go, Miles, go get it, boy, go, come on, boy, and just send him off on his way. You know what I mean? And
you're gonna get the dog running around everywhere.
I know exactly.
Yeah,
Archie's going to just go run through the window. But like it's sad because Mac Black has been standing on his head, and he can only do it for so long, and he's going to start getting worn out. And you're going to bring in Dell. Dell's going to have to do the same damn thing, and it's going to start to expose all the weaknesses that this team has. So right now they're hovering at a decent spot, right? We're at NHL 500 or just below NHL 500. Just below. So this team is going to have.
I think we are.
So this team is going to have to turn it around in the next couple games. And Scotty pointed something out right before we went live, which was the schedule is not really conducive of having one of those turnaround, 3-4 game series because Jesus, it is just one. We're in a tough division as is. God dang, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, we knew. We knew it was going. We knew this was going to happen.
We only have 2 games in this month.
We didn't know it was going to be this tough.
Sorry, three games in the month of March with teams that are, well, I don't even know. Are the Buffalo and the Rangers, are they ahead of us? I have to look at the standings.
Technically, the Rangers were ahead of us.
Yes, so the Rangers are.
The Rangers
so we only
are ahead of us.
We have 1 game this month with team, that's it. We only played Buffalo once for a team that's worse than us. And we only played the Rangers
Buffalo's
twice.
had our number.
And good Lord.
Buffalo's had our number.
Good Lord.
Yep, and we cannot do anything against them.
And of course, we got to play the Rangers when we get. Oh man, I'm so nervous about the fans being back in the first games. Or I'm just.
Yeah, the chance of them going and then just damaging the psyche of this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well,
oh my God.
Tuesday, hopefully everyone is positive. But if it goes south on Saturday against the Rangers, they're going to hear it. Because, tickets are $70 a pop, I think, and you got to buy them in blocks of 2 or 4. Sammy, what?
This is what I'd say, and I told Scotty this off air. On Tuesday, we got section 120 or 121. I'm just going to yell nonsense the entire game just to get on MSG networks. And I'm going to make up a sign that says Bryce and Erica, give them a Emmy already. Those little promo signs so the camera can zoom in right at us. And then I'll shout, "Let's go Devils podcast." And then just annoy people in the crowd.
Hey, can you do me a huge favor?
Shameless
What's that?
promotion.
If you're going to that game, can you go to the Devil's store and see if they have the reverse retro jersey there? For the love of God, I can't find it anywhere. And
Just get the Fanatics one and be
You know
done
what?
with it.
I
Like,
know. I
you know
looked.
what?
The Fanatics one sold out too.
Wait,
Fanatics
yours
one
is still in
get those.
customs? Is yours still
Oh,
in
yeah.
customs?
Still in
Oh
customs.
my God!
Yeah.
What is Canada holding it for?
No idea. I have no idea.
Beer Baron, I'll
That was
go buy it for you if it's there, and you know,
Dude, and I'll
first
send you
bet
the
I
money.
No, we're gonna make a nice flip out of it.
You can buy it off the Let's Go
You
Devils
want
podcast
this?
eBay account.
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
buy-
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be right on eBay.
Like, what is this crazy markup for? The cost of
Reserve set,
delivery.
$500.
Hey, no joke. I went on
I-
eBay the other day and I was like, they want like $250 for this thing, and I was like, oh my God, for a youth,
I have
the youth.
I have not bought much off of eBay, but I remember years ago, just it was so much fun to be there buying records on eBay and like waiting till like 3 seconds left to bid up again to
Oh,
win it in the
yeah.
very last moment. So much fun.
Yeah, I love spoiling bids. You know, any kind of auction. There are times
Sam
where
just sitting there with his little paddle.
oh, there was one time to bid on a website. I forgot what website it was, and it was just a bidding war. And I had it up to like 3,300, and I knew that I couldn't pay for it. And then I just want to like hit it once more, but I didn't, and you know I just drive up the price. Sometimes I like doing that.
You're like a GM of a team. You're like, I'm not going to trade for this guy in real life, but I'll give you 4 first-round picks for.
Well, let's offer
Patrick
sheet him
Laine.
anyway. $13 million a season.
Oh, I would be the worst GM. I'd be a troll. I wouldn't be a GM. I'd be a troll and start tampering. You know. Anyway.
I got the money. I'll pay the fines. That's what Sam's motto would be.
Yeah, it really would be.
So, Shorts guy, looking at what Mac Black has to deal with defensively, what do you guys think that the Devils need to do defensively? I mean, obviously, we're stuck with PK at least this year, which really sucks. I really like him. He's such a likable dude.
So do I.
It's just his
yeah.
game is just not what it used to be.
Well, what are you expecting from him? That's what I'm not. I mean, I'm
not
expecting him
expecting
to
much.
be offense and a defensive kind of liability. This contract is obviously from like long ago. It's the back end of it.
Yeah.
You know, Kulikov. I don't know. They need more chemistry or more time to gel together. I'm not sure. I liked what I saw when Will Butcher was a pairing, but you know, that's when Ovechkin split him today as well and had that wicked shot. But that's also Ovechkin doing
That's
that.
Ovechkin,
So
Yeah, it's Ovechkin. It's got to come with some
PK.
measure of.
he's put up some points. I mean, he's got like 6 or 7 points or 8.
You know,
he's
he had
got
an
like 8
assist
points,
today.
I think. Yeah,
He had an
he's
assist
putting
today.
up points. He's starting
He's
to get
in-
his
he's
shot
in-
through. It's
he's
not.
in
He's taking out
-5.
Ovechkin's ankle. So what is
He's
he?
a -5 or he's a -5 or a -6 last time I checked. But I mean, and plus minus crap, whatever. That's sometimes could be arbitrary. But a lot of people, I think, if his contract wasn't what it is, I think a lot of people wouldn't give him as much grief. I think that always carries the weight of like, if you got a big contract, my God, you better live up to it. But I wouldn't be
got 8
surprised if
points.
he ends up.
Points in
Yeah,
70 games,
I-
and he's a -4.
I don't think anybody's. It's not like he's horrible. It's not like he's out there and he's doing things and you're like, oh my God, like get this guy off the ice already. He clearly doesn't care or something like that. Like he wants to be out there. He's having a good time and whatever. If I could look into a crystal ball and tell you what's going to happen next year, if he makes it through the trade deadline, which he probably will because nobody was going to really want to take on that contract.
No.
If I could look into a crystal ball, I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up in Seattle as a part of the expansion draft. Because I don't think Seattle will care about his cap number. they'll care about his celebrity
Jersey
a little bit
sales.
more, jersey sales, things like that. Like I think that's a bigger pull for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in Seattle next year. But there's the defensive side of the things. It's sad because this is a team that used to be like that was our hallmark was like, look at our defense is Scott Stevens, Scott Niedermeyer, like Kenny Danico. We have like this stalwart of defensemen, and now it's just not what it should be. Although Severson and Smith have been great though.
Severson, Ty Smith, and then you're going to have Ball and Riley Walsh coming up. I mean, we're not as bad. We're just, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just ahead of the game again. Like everyone thinks that we're a playoff team, and we are not a playoff team yet. Like we need to be. I keep saying this. Like we need to get to 500. We need to finish the season above 500. That's a big victory for the Devils. They're not better than the Flyers. They are not better than the Islanders. They are not better than the Capitals. They are not better than the Bruins. And there's one team I missed. They're not better than the Penguins. I'm sorry. Like it is what it is right now. We are on par with the Rangers and the Sabres. We maybe we can get better. Maybe we can sneak some out. We play some good, but just finish above 500.
Going into the season with this division, especially, it was Boston, Washington, Islanders, and Pittsburgh. Those were going to be the four to come out of this. And then we started relatively hot. We cooled down a bit, and then we went into that COVID break. This is just like what last season where we started off. The first two periods were awesome, and then it went to hell. I think that was last season.
Yeah.
I've like lost track, in years, and then the season we started off hot when we played in in Europe at 4-0. So this team has a track record of starting off hot and then kind of coming back to reality. Playoffs this year were going to be tough to begin with just because of our divisional lineup and who was in our division, and it was only going to be 4. And then I think everyone got excited again, and rightfully so, because we know what this team can do, and we've seen that. But yeah, no, you're right. I think we got to stop. This team's not. I don't want to say that they can't sneak into that 4th spot. I still think that they can potentially sneak in, but no, they're not ready, and we knew that going into the season. They weren't ready. It's just a matter of we got some hopes, and hope is great until it breaks your heart, and then you're really pissed off. Which a lot of people are, and rightfully so. It's. And we talked about it a couple minutes ago, like bringing the fans back into the mix in a couple games. It could potentially be a nightmare, for what people are going to have to pay to get in, and then seeing the team do what they're doing. I just hope that it was going to be a project, and I think that's. I got to imagine that they must have sold Lindy Ruff on coming in and coaching a project. Like it wasn't going to, be an instant playoff team.
Absolutely.
So we knew that. We want to see them do better. Our I think our hearts are a little bit overwhelming right now. We want to see them play better. But in reality, if you look at the team, that's the thing.
We see the things that Jack Hughes is doing. We see what Ty Smith is doing. We saw Nico came back, and that's another thing we got to remember. Our best player has only played 3 games this season. Okay, and we saw when he came back, like the team changed. Just look at those face-off numbers today. Whew.
And that line, by the way, you could see is starting to click. And let's not forget, there's a lot of positives that are going on right now. Like Scotty just said, we're seeing growth in a lot of players. Ty Smith is still leading all rookie defensemen in scoring. And by all accounts, by all accounts, he looks legit. This kid if you watch when he has so much poise and so much confidence, and the way he just, the small things he does, like the way he can like sidestep somebody, stutter step somebody, the way he gets back into play, the way that on a 2-on-1, this kid constantly takes the pass. And every time I see that, I stand up and I clap because it makes me so damn happy that I'm like, finally,
I love
a defenseman
do that.
Exactly.
I love it.
Dude, listen, when I used to coach, When I used to coach, I used to tell my defensemen that all the time. I'm like, if you're caught in a 2-on-1, you take away the pass, you rely on your goaltender to come out and make the save. I'm like, don't try to be a hero and go after the shot because you'll get burned and you'll leave the back door wide open. And see, he every single time he's caught in that 2-on-1, he plays it perfect. And I love hearing Dano just sing his praises because you could tell Dano's like, oh my God, it's good to see that. There's a lot of positive. Pavel Zacha, I don't know what Lindy Ruff is doing with this kid, but I feel like everybody that hated on Pavel Zacha was hating on the John Hines system. I don't think it was Zacha that was screwing up. I think it was the system that he was a part of. And if you didn't believe that, look at how he's starting to flourish. That kid is playing with confidence. And remember, he's only 23. That's one of the great things about this team is the core of this team is young and can only project upwards.
I'm still convinced too that head injury that he suffered, that was nasty, that it took a while for him to get back and be comfortable with like getting hit, going into the slot, into the middle and stuff like that. I don't know. I just having an injury like that. If you
injuries do that.
Yeah. I mean, that one was scary though. When he smacked his head, when he was 18, like that was bad. He was like, that was scary. It's gotta be something there to that as well. But I think now, seems pretty comfortable out there.
Now he's playing like the kid that everybody saw in juniors when he got drafted 6th overall. Because if you were watching that draft class closely, he was being projected as a big physical forward who could do exactly what he's doing right now.
I'll call myself. I wasn't a couple of weeks ago where I was like, man, I wish we took Provolov off over when we played. Well,
yeah, of course. Of course. And then Barzell was right after that. Barzell was like 13th or something like that.
But that's the thing. That's the thing with the draft. That's the thing with the draft. You don't know what you're going to draft. Like you don't know how these players are going to pass out, or pass out. Pan out. I mean, some of them. Ask Billy Dean. Ask Billy Dean on Hockey Untapped about his favorite draft pick of all time, Hugh Jessamine. They were players the Rangers could have taken, but they took the good old Hugh Jessamine, and he's a Ranger great on the bargain bin of Marshalls in the jersey section. But
but he's still retired number probably. I bet.
Oh yeah, no, they'll retire his number. They'll be going at some point. The Rangers will be using 3-digit numbers like the Mexican Soccer League does because they've run out of numbers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say hey to Thomas Ehring. I would say that it seems like games are winnable this year, which is nice. They just can't finish chances. And again, signs of a young team.
That's another thing too. There's somebody on the let me look at this. Hold on. On our YouTube
where's our YouTube
channel,
live? Oh man, I gotta flip over.
Channel, John Michael was saying we need a top 6 finisher, and don't tell me to wait for Holtz, Mercer, and Foote. I might have to tell you to wait for Holtz, Mercer, and Foote because Nikita Gusev is much
here next year, probably.
I love Nikita Gusev. I'm so pumped to have him as a Devil, but I think that ship might be on its way out. That might be trade bait. If that's trade bait, he better start putting the puck in the net. And he better start producing some points if he wants to be trade bait. Right now, the only thing you're going to get for him is a bag of pucks.
There's a certain character player that could be trade bait on that 4th line.
Mm-hmm. 3rd line, you mean?
Dare? You mean Bastion? Why did you trade him?
I
Mike McLeod.
No, I fully believe Travis Zajac is probably going to get traded.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Mike McLeod.
He's going to be the Andy Green like last year. Hey, where do you want to go? You want a chance to win a cup? Here you go. Like we'll give you.
Mike McLeod. Whatever. Speaking of the prodigal son.
No, we got to keep. I was impressed with his play today. He took a big hit on a penalty kill. That bad penalty that Palms took again, hooking calls. But he was getting the puck in the zone. Make sure he got it deep. He took a big hit from Dylan, I think, right at the blue line. But he got that puck deep. So Mike
Orlov. It was Orlov that laid him up.
Oh, was it Orlov? Dude, and that's another thing too. I know we've been talking about the Devils looking like they got pushed around today. They did. The Capitals are ginormous. They're huge.
Big. They're a big, heavy team.
Ovechkin, even Hagelin, like our old buddy from the Rangers there, Carl Hagelin, you know, like, I mean, like, they have so many. TJ Oshie's a big dude, you know, Tom Wilson, but they're monsters.
And that's the thing is, you know, watching the game, not tonight, yesterday, Dano said something that I thought was so perfect about the Capitals. Once the Capitals were up 3-2 and the Devils started to make that push to come back, Dano was like, it's so hard for the Devils to come back against a team like this because they're so heavy. And playing a heavy team, they make it almost damn near impossible to get. Like they'll let you get close, but they won't let you get that last goal because they'll collapse down on you and then they'll start pushing you into the boards and they push you out this way. And once they get you into those corners and they start getting physical with you, it's hard to keep up. You can't finesse a team like that.
And that's why the Caps have been perennial cup contenders for the last 10 years, because they've got those aspects about their team that allows them to close off those games and to win games and to shut games down and to bring it home when they need be. You know, those are the things that we're missing, and those are the things that we're hopefully going to get. You know, and as much as I hate, you know, if we continue like this, we'll be. I hope we're not big sellers at the trade deadline, because I don't want to see us lose some of these younger pieces. But you know, we will be. You know, we can definitely. Players will not end the season with the Devils. You know,
I think your big three are what you're thinking. Zajac, you know, Palmieri, Gusev. They're going to be the ones that you got to make the decisions on. You know, what are you going to do with them? They're all the ones on the expiring contracts. Is there any defenseman?
You know what? Butcher could be. Butcher could be expendable.
Butcher.
Murray's on You could trade Vatanen again, but Murray's on an expiring contract, and as much as like he is a very, very good defenseman.
No. Murray, I thought, has another year on his contract. No,
I think he might be. I think he might be UFA after this year. We'll have to double check that.
Go ahead. You talk. I'm going to check.
No, but I mean, I feel like if things hold the way they are and the Devils kind of start not going down the skids, but if we start, I guess if we start going down the skids, and if it gets to the point where they're going to be sellers at the deadline. The good thing is that they have a lot of talent in the pipeline. You do have Holtz, and Holtz is projected to be an absolute filthy sniper. Then you have, you know, Foote, who's also got a hell of a shot. So you have kids that have, you know, the potential is through the roof, right? Mercer, another one, potential through the roof.
Murray is UFA.
Sammy, and Kulikov are all 1 year. Done.
All UFAs. Yeah. And which is not a bad thing, by the way. That's not a bad thing, because you could trade all three of them. If we're in the market, then you bring Ball up, you bring Walsh up, and you let those two finish out the year.
If they're ready.
But even if they're ready, but at the same time, wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity to just kind of throw them into the heat towards the end of the season and a shortened season? Throw them into the heat and just be like, listen, what's the difference between them playing in Binghamton or playing for the Devils if they're going to get the NHL experience? It's not going to count against. I guess I have to look at the rookie contract and how that works out, because that's the other thing that sucks. So something that sorry to like step on a pedestal about this for a second, but so something that sucks in the Major League, or no, in Major League Baseball that was exposed was the Seattle Mariners GM or whatever he was, who's since been released, basically went out and said like, oh, we control rookies' contracts, so we get another year of service out of them, and blah 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 blah, holding people back on purpose, and that sent shockwaves through the entire sports community. Nobody was shocked about it because everybody understood and knew that was going on. But those are the things that happen. Like, you hold players back because you don't want to lose a year on their contract and all that kind of crap. The games that they have to play to like keep people in the system. Figuring out how many days or how many games that Ball and Walsh would have to play on the NHL level before they lose like a year of whatever eligibility or whatever, or control, or under the control, or whatever the hell. Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, keeping them cheap. So if you could figure out the time from the trade deadline to when that happens, some of these guys, Kulikov, Murray, Butcher, a lot of these guys could be expendable, but you do have young kids that can step in and get the NHL experience and hopefully next year take that step forward, like Ty Smith.
But that therein is the risk. Like, what if they don't make that leap that we're hoping they make, and then the season goes even further to hell? At the end, like, you want to. It's good to test it, but then we trade these guys. Then who we thought we would bring up and would make that leap doesn't. Then we got to go shopping again in the summer and find it. Yeah. At that point, it'll be even tougher to get players to come here, which is already tough enough to get players to come here. But
it's true.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done in the right way because we're not a destination team. Our hearts say differently, but in reality, the Devils are not a. I need to go play for the Devils. Like, we would all sell an arm and a leg and go play for this team if given the opportunity. But the
this
rest
is
of the
what
league
I
doesn't
say.
see it the same way we
This
do.
is what I say.
Oh,
This is what I say.
Oh boy!
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
I don't like any of this funny business by manipulating service time.
No, it's funny
I'll
business.
tell you the reason why. Because it's all about karma. There was one GM that didn't mess around. That's Brody Van Wagenen with Pete Alonso. Remember the first 2 weeks of the season? Should he start in the minors, then bring him up? But instead, he started him on opening day, gave a commitment because he said, I'm not going to play those games. And Alonso broke the rookie record for the most home runs. Had he not gotten that 2 weeks, who knows what really happened. And I think that if a player is ready, bring him up. If the team needs that player, bring him up. Who cares about all that stuff? I get the economics. I get it. But to me, it's bad business. It's bad to recruit players through free agency. And you look cheap. That's just me. When you start messing with service time and all that.
Well, I think you got to also look, though. I mean, we've seen the example of both Jack and Ty. Jack not staying that year down there, and Ty Smith, who did stay that year down there. And, I think that might be a lot of what's playing here as well. Just that they had that experience with them, with those two individual prospects, and it seemed to work a little bit better for Ty.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
that gets back to the way the Devils used to run it.
It motivated Jack, too. I will say that.
Yeah. No, it did. But that's the way the Devils used to run stuff. I mean, even Zach Parise was sent down to Albany, get some time there. Like, the Devils used to condition all their players down in Albany, no matter who it was. It was just, I guess, the Lou way, if you want to say it. But, when you get the higher draft picks like Jack Hughes, like, you almost expect them to be able to jump right in the NHL, I mean, they're seeing it across the river. Lafreniere is not as coming as everyone had hoped and expected. But again, the kid's 18.
Exactly.
If I had to do those things when I was 18, like, the difference between me and, 18-year-old me and even like 21, 22-year-old me is like worlds different. It's definitely worlds different when you're a player. So, it's physically
too.
Ready, put him up.
He's got a blueprint now to follow too. Oh, hey, look, Jack Hughes struggled his 18-year-old year too. What did he do? Oh, he went and did this all summer. Like Lafreniere, I think he's gonna be the forward in our friggin'
Although
side.
I hope he's the Radek Monk. I hope he's like Radek Monk.
That would be nice.
I like that you did like a prepubescent voice for him.
Maybe I'll score some goals too.
Hey, mister, what are you doing over there? My God, you're greasy.
That episode was on the other day. It was so great to see. Every now and then I'll turn on TV like later at night and like on, what is it? Freeform and FXX has them, and you just get a block. You just get a solid
Yeah.
block of just great episode after great episode after great episode. It's like when you see stuff like that, you're like, this is why this show is so great.
Yes. I love that. I have the Disney Plus app for my kids, and it is really good overall. But I love that they have The Simpsons on there, and I'm like, oh my god, I can watch every single episode. But I love even more that I can make it a completely obscure reference without saying where it's from, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Dude, that's basically what every conversation at hockey and even not at hockey, like when we're just hanging out, that happens between myself and the Hockey on Tap guys. I mean, hell, our team's name is Bone Storm.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like even in the course of this whole pandemic, we've been just skating against each other. We brought in another goalie, a buddy of mine, Mike, and he fits in even better with that because him and I have been doing this back and forth with the Simpsons since high school. You know, it's like, but every time I'm out with those guys from Hockey on Tap, it's just like it's Simpsons reference after Simpsons reference after Simpsons reference, just because that you can reference life.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. But it's the same thing. It's like small obscure things. It's small obscure things. We'll finish quotes that the other starts.
Yeah. Oh my god. What is your middle name? I do not know.
That's it. You know what? That's what we should do. We should do a combined Let's Go Devils Hockey on Tap podcast about our love for the Simpsons. We'll make it happen.
Oh my god, yes. I almost cursed. Yes. That's how excited I got about that. Heck yeah. And for anybody that doesn't know, that the reason why my name is the Beer Baron is because of that Simpsons episode. It's like my favorite episode of all time.
I'll get you, Beer Baron.
No, you won't. Yes, I will.
I will.
Rexy, what was the name? Okay, here's a question. Trivia. But before we go way off on the Simpsons tangent, which one day we should just have like a total nerd out Simpsons episode, what was the name of Rex Banner's dog that had puppies?
Oh, that's a good one.
And I won't give you the answer. I'll let you figure that one out.
All right. I'm gonna have to look that one up because I don't even know.
It was in the Telegram.
It's on the Telegram. It's on the Telegram. I know where it is. I just damn, I'm gonna have to look that one up. Yeah.
And
I don't know it. I don't know it.
Who voiced Rex Banner? Even better, who was the voice of Rex Banner? I'll give you that one though.
Ooh,
for anybody that was an SCTV fan, anybody that was an SCTV fan or a fan of the Great White North, with Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. Dave Thomas was the voice of Rex Banner. You were returning this beer. We found a mouse in their beer. Elsinore beer. That's another movie I could quote backwards. Is The Great White North. Okay, sorry.
All right, back to the topic on hand.
Back to the top. This is what happens. They start losing, and we start going off the rails because the last thing we want to talk about is the Devils.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I was waiting for Scotty to come in and just save the day. And
oh, you want me
guys,
to come up with stuff? Okay, we can come up with stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
Well,
we talked about a lot before as well. I just don't want to, on the post game show. It's rough, man. I don't know. I'm looking at this schedule and I'm worried. I'm worried that this team is going to tailspin a little bit. And that's not what I want to see.
It's the schedule, and it's also the fact because that whole COVID break screwed them. Because now they don't have time to take breaks in between games. They just played 4 games in a span of how many days? You know what I mean? So it's not. This is not a normal schedule to begin with, and now it's definitely not a normal schedule because they don't have time for practice. They don't have time for the coaches to be like, all right, you guys suck on the power play, you suck on the PK. We're going to spend 2 full practices this week just on that. Nope, they can't do that. They're like, hey, take a maintenance day because you guys are tired,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like Daniel in the group just said, how are we going to do better at home, which prior to this, there really wasn't much of a difference between home or away other than what bed they were sleeping in. They didn't have fans, but now this week, that's different. Like you're going to start seeing fans. You know, you're going to see fans in the mix now, and it could completely change things. Who knows? He also said, "Why isn't Wedgwood Blackwood's backup?" It could just be they're trying to get reps for another guy. You know, they may be trying to get. They've got competent. You know, Dell is just as competent as Wedgwood, in my opinion. It just when you don't have a team that's structurally sound defensively in front of you, it doesn't matter who's going to be in net. You know,
Wedgwood
the results
did
are
play
going
very
to
well,
be the same.
I
I thought Wedgwood played fantastic. I thought he was
played very
fantastic. I think Dell is great as well. I think we've got two solid goalies on the same, you know, plane as far as backups are concerned.
So,
but
just looking over at Twitter just now, Amanda Stein asked Kyle Palmieri about the power play, and he said, "Quote: Now I apologize, Sam. I'm going to break protocol and I'm going to curse just because it's a part of the quote. Sometimes we get set up and it looks great, and other times, quite frankly, it's a shit show." That's straight from Kyle Palmieri. I mean, even the players are feeling it and seeing it and understanding it. That this team has a lot of glaring holes.
You know, that almost, and I feel like we're beating a dead horse, and I feel like everyone's in the same situation, but I feel like that's a lack of practice. Like if they look really good some days and on some power plays and look like crap on others, like, yeah, like I hate making excuses for it, but having a lack of practice lack of practice kills you, you know, and that right there, that quote right there, just to me, reading between the lines, is we don't get a chance to work on it enough, which is why it's inconsistent. The power play is inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that would be the reason for that inconsistency, is you don't have consistent time to work on it. You know, I don't know.
So what do you?
Sam was going to bring
the
back
penalty?
the no fun zone.
Just keep.
That's what I said. Just say like, no, thanks, it's okay. We'll just stick to 5-on-5.
I wish.
I wish. We got them where you want them.
Because you're great.
It's cool, guys. It's cool, guys.
Or maybe instead of setting up a play on the power play, just play it like it's a 5-on-5. You know, it sounds
just
stupid.
Start throwing regular lines out there. No, it's not stupid.
Exactly. But I mean, at this point, you might as well just screw or go like crazy. Put 5 forwards out there. You might as well do something stupid. And just
let's not do that.
Imagine putting that fourth line.
No, you would never do that.
Imagine putting that fourth line on the power play. Imagine putting that fourth line on the power play.
And they would probably score. You know why?
Yeah, I know.
They consistently crash the net. They consistently have, you know, they put pressure on the front of the goal line. Like, what drives me crazy about like our power plays, we try to get so set up in the same exact way. It's like point over to the side, point over to the right. We got to get that cross feed. Oh, didn't work. Okay, well, we'll reset. And it's like the same setup every time.
They enter the zone, but they lose possession. Like that.
Or that
it's like,
too. Or that too.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Like, everybody's, if you look, everybody's stat is now stacking again, like right along the blue line. So they stack everybody at the blue line, and then we can't enter the zone. And when we can't, because we keep trying to do the same thing, it's like, all right, if we're going this way, we're going to go to the right side. Maybe we should go to the left. No. Just stick to the right side. We know what we're doing. Like, Jesus Christ.
I assure you it'll work.
That's how you say F you in a different language, you know.
No. I'm saying it's starting to resemble a flying V recently. Looks like a flying V when they do that crap.
Even the flying V had results. This does not have any results.
Yeah, it doesn't have any results. You know, it's
someone get
flying V naturally off sides.
Or, you know, I mean, I'm an outside the box thinker. You know, look, if you're on the power play, why don't you pull one of your guys off, make it 4-on-4, and then surprise him by having.
I thought you were trying to get everyone in the box on the PK. I thought you were trying to get everyone in the box.
I'm talking about the power play. It's like go 4-on-4 and then sneak a guy in for the extra man. He comes trailing in, surprises everybody, takes a shot, scratches the net. Good things will happen.
Oh boy, Sam.
Hey, you know what? I'm out of things to say, but honestly,
something tells me that you are full of it when you say that you're out of things to say. I highly doubt that.
No, but seriously, actually, what I was actually referring to is what they do in lacrosse. Sometimes you could sneak a guy in just like that because you can change on the fly. But all joking aside, Beer Baron hit it right on the head. It's too predictable. And I was saying even that the power play, not only is it predictable, but they're looking for the perfect shot. They're looking for the perfect pass. I kind of like just throwing it on net and just crash and create your own luck. I mean, here's the term garbage goal. Well, they're not really garbage goals, really. It's working at it. I mean, making the goaltender think. A goaltender can telegraph anything if you're doing the same crap each and every time.
Yeah,
and there's so much film on it.
Yeah, no, totally.
You get into the zone, and when you know where it's going to be, it's it kind of makes.
And
things
it's
easy.
like all of our shots are coming from out here. All the shots are coming from the perimeter. There's nobody's trying to break into the middle. Nobody's trying to and our shots from the point, in the beginning of the year, look, that's a great example. Where did Zaka score that goal for him? You know what I mean? It's the creativity of this notion that you could have this seam pass going across, and even if you get the seam pass, the timing of it is not working because the timing of it on a seam pass should be this. You get the puck and you send it across, and that's got to be bang, bang real quick. And this is what's happening. The pass is coming across. If it makes it, we're stopping the puck. We're looking. We're trying to pick a corner. We tie our laces. We ask somebody what time it is, and then we take the shot. There's so much time that elapses. You know what I mean? It's never going to work like that. Listen, I'm not a professional hockey player. Never claimed to be, except for that one time where I claimed to be, and then I got quickly escorted out of a building. But that's besides the point. I've never been called sir. Let's see if Shorts Guy can finish that. I've never been called sir. Oh, no. I messed it up. I would like to be called sir without adding you're making a scene. So anyways. I'm
failing all over the place here. Anyway.
But anyways, the power play is one thing. The PK has just been atrocious, and we've covered that. Bryce Salvador's broke that down. I mean, it's the special teams, and we hate to say it, and Shorts Guy said it before. We're not making excuses. It's just the reality. You can't, and anybody that's ever coached or played a sport, if you can't practice, you can't have success. Because how the hell are you supposed to go into a game? Now you're treating games like practice.
Yep.
You're basically getting thrown into the middle of the fire and being like, oh, all right, figure out how to get out of there, boys. And it's like,
it's the definition of wing it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Right now, they're basically being thrown in the middle of it, and they're like, hey, well, you guys can't practice, so figure out your chemistry on ice now. Oh, yeah, we're playing the Capitals, by the way. Or, oh, yeah, we're playing the Bruins, by the way. Oh, yeah, wait, we're playing the Islanders, by the way. Figure that out, boys. Go figure out your goddamn chemistry. Or the power play, which is the worst in the league right now. Or the
while
PK,
you're getting
which is
beaten down.
Yeah. So you can't fault the team. Like anybody that's like these people that freak out on social media, oh, this team, blah, blah, blah. Dude, look at the reality of it.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
And also, I will say on Saturday, the Caps got 2 lucky bounce goals. You know, there was one that was like a ricochet, and that Verona breakaway was kind of like a lucky bounce out. Now he buried the breakaway, I'll give him that, but you know,
And that and puck luck is a very real thing. For anyone who's watched the game long enough, or if you've watched
not
and
trying
played,
to make excuses.
you just no, not at all. But puck luck is such a real thing. Like there have been so many times in my over the course of all the years that I've played where it's just like for weeks it just seems like holy hell, is this puck ever going to not bounce against me? In some way, shape, or form. Sometimes that just that just shows you're just getting bad puck luck because it's amplifying a deficiency. It's amplifying a deficiency in your game. It's like you're a step behind. You're a step
left of the podcast.
5 minutes to go. Well, since it's 5 minutes to go, since it's 5 minutes to go, let's bring up the good news of this, which is probably going to be good news for the first 15 seconds. But there will be fans in the building for the first time on Tuesday, which is fantastic. This is the last podcast that we will broadcast when there haven't been fans. Hey, there's the clock. Without fans in the building. So luckily, 2 of the 4 members of this podcast are going to get to go on Tuesday. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see. That'll be the first, for me, it'll be the first sporting event since March. Whenever I went to a Red Bulls game in March, like the very beginning of March or the end of February. Yeah, very beginning of March. I think March 1st. And then that was it. So actually a calendar year. I don't know if I've ever gone a calendar year without going to a sporting event.
Which in itself is just, it's crazy to think about that. Finally, we're starting to see things going in the right direction. Coronavirus and everything that's happened in the last year, we have fun talking about this team and, joking about the good and the bad and the ugly. But seeing the fact that we're going to have fans back in the stands is a very positive thing. And means we're trending in the right direction, boys. Just like this team. Inch by inch.
Really, really, especially for the first game on Tuesday, even if it goes south, which has all the potential of going south, I really hope that the fans don't turn into like just pissed off messes of individuals, and just kind of appreciate the fact that we're allowed to be in the building. I know that sounds like rosy glass colored, whatever, but really being allowed back in that building for the first time in a year. We really got to take a step back and be like, even if they play like crap, we got to appreciate, the fact that we're in that building. And what'll be really nice for that game against the Rangers is for the first time, there will be no Ranger fans in the building. With all hope, God willing, there's not one damn blue jersey in that building. Holy
it's going to be like
crap,
75%.
Sure. That's exactly what I was.
Dude,
that's what I meant.
I
was talking about at the beginning of the podcast. Every Devils fan is going to go ahead and sell their ticket for like quadruple the price. Like
they can't though. They can't. I don't think they can. Resale is not allowed. Resale's not allowed. Like, resale's resale's being canceled.
It's on your. It has to be on your phone and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the tickets were sold to season ticket holders, and just the table scraps.
I was so fearful.
Now, if somebody is a Devils fan that's married to a Rangers fan, I can see that happening. Going to the game.
That's fine. I'm just picturing a nightmare scenario in my head, and I was just not.
You're like,
was just not
fans, and 100 and 755 of them are Ranger fans. And you're like, son of a bitch,
dude. I was there that night when the Rangers eliminated the Devils from the playoffs, and I almost just said a bad word. They booed.
I was there.
And they gave friggin' Lundqvist oh my god. Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't with you.
It was not a good. It wasn't a good situation. Was that like 08, 09, somewhere around there?
I may have
08.
08? Was I there? I might have been there too.
I can't remember. It was not.
I
It
was
was not.
proud
It was
there.
not pretty. It was not a pretty situation.
I was
I've
there.
been there to see them get eliminated by the Sam reset the clock. I was there. I was there when they were eliminated by the Flyers too, which was I'm pretty sure Scotty, you and I were there that night, and that was a bad night too.
Yeah.
It was like the first.
Well,
year of
let's
the
just-
Rocket.
We got eliminated
Go
by
ahead.
the Rangers in the late '90s too. I was at that. There was a playoff series in the late '90s, 99, 98, when the Rangers eliminated us. I was there. That was miserable. I was there with my dad. He said he never saw me leave that building so fast. It was Meadowlands days.
It was, yeah. Those are well. Either way, I'm happy to hear that it is just going to be like the season ticket holders. I think that's only fair as well, because season ticket holders got their money taken, from the team and everything like that, so they should get some tickets. But yeah, if you're lucky enough to be going, like Short Sky was saying, it is a privilege to be able to go back to a sporting event,
Really,
especially something like this that we all love and we're all missing dearly. Like, even if I could go to a Kings game out here or a Dodgers game, I probably would, even if the Mets or Devils weren't here, just to go to a game. So yeah, you know what? Be loud, cheer for our boys, even if the Islanders beat them in the end, cheer loud, be positive, and just be happy that you're part of that crew, that first crew back there at the Rock. I mean, that's history.
Are we able to take our masks off in our seats as long as we have food, right?
If you have food and drink, I hear.
That's a good question.
What I've heard, it's gonna be you're gonna have to lift your mask up, drink your beer, and then back down again. They're gonna be super strict. But I'm not sure.
By the way, if anybody gives grief about that, we've been doing this for a year. Yeah, we've been doing this for a year. Now. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, we've been doing this for a year. It feels like second nature now. You wear a mask. If you don't wear a mask, it feels weirder than when you do wear a mask. So, just be safe.
Yeah.
Don't
really
be stupid. Don't get yourself kicked out. Don't be an idiot and be like, "Oh, I can't breathe." Shut up. You've been doing it for already a year.
Don't be like Sam Wu over here.
Sam, don't give it away. If I think what you're gonna raise your hand for, don't give it away yet.
No,
we've already said.
I honestly think I'm going to get kicked out on Tuesday because I have a year's worth of pent up energy that I'm probably going to do something stupid. I haven't figured it out yet what I'm probably going to do, but it's going to be random. It's not.
Don't give him any alcohol.
Trust me, I won't. It should be the other way around. It should be you, making sure he watches me because I'm the one that can, kind of tend to fly off the drunken handle at sporting events, which I've done in the past.
I may have to wear
Not that I'm proud of.
jersey.
Can't wait to see the headlines. Local podcast producer escorted out of arena in handcuffs.
Local podcast producer. I hope if you do get arrested, if they ask for your name or. Yeah, if you have to give them a name, please say local podcast producer because that would be great. that would be. I think that you'd have to get that framed and put on your wall. Wait! I know we got to get out of here. We have 1 minute and 58 seconds left. I know we have to get out of here, and I know we have to get to our final thoughts. And we're going off the rails again. But I heard something on the radio the other day that I wanted to bring up real quick. It's real quick. I heard that the NBA, how baseball cards and trading cards, it's been around since Honus Wagner's card, which was in tobacco. The NBA, I caught the middle of it, which I hope somebody out there can hear this and be like, oh yeah, I heard this too. The NBA is going to sell clips, highlights. So they're going to start selling highlights. So you could own an NBA highlight the same way you would own a trading card. So, if the NHL did this, Jack Hughes scores a goal, and it's a highlight reel goal, and they sell the rights to the highlight, and it's you pay $1,000.
It's like buying a song or an episode from a TV show.
Essentially, yeah. From what I can understand, I just find that to be the weirdest thing ever.
Well, it would be a thing where, like, it would be helpful for us if we really wanted to, because we have no ties to the
It
NHL.
would be, yeah.
You know
We
what?
can go out
yeah.
and buy highlights and like start putting them into the show and everything like that. A little
Yeah,
behind the scenes there for everyone listening.
We would have to. We would be able to afford like Brett Seeney highlights from like Binghamton, because apparently, like, if it's anybody worthwhile, it would be like $1,000 a highlight or something like that. We have like that one
that's the
highlight.
whole-
Like we
all
pulled
the
our money
rights
together.
reserved.
I'd buy the penalty kills. I'd buy all
yeah.
the penalty kills.
The no fun zone would be a serious.
Yeah.
Get that chalkboard going. The Sam Wu
Oh, yeah.
chalkboard.
Chalk talk.
Chalk talk.
Sam
Wu.
Wu Chalk Talks.
What you gonna do when Sam Wu?
You need to wear like a whistle. You need to look like Bill Cowher when you do that. Like, extend your jaw out.
We should bring
Wear
a
a
whistle
whistle.
in. We should
Yeah.
bring a whistle on Tuesday.
You know-
Let's not whistle into
know-
the microphone. Let's not do that. That's not. A
You
good
know, we
idea.
brought. You know, our buddy
my
Ryan
ear-
brought a whistle in once, and it didn't work out well.
Oh, to
Wait,
the
it was
arena.
Oh, into the arena, yeah, yeah.
Now, did he
Our
have
buddy
a
Ryan brought a
referee?
whistle in once.
I've
Didn't they
always
It
ban
I've
sounded
always-
the same.
It
Yeah,
sounded
they
the same
banned the
as a
horn.
referee whistle, right?
Yes, it did. But from like the top, but we were obviously in the top, and we were obviously, you know, having a few beers, so it just got out of hand real quick.
They
They
used to have in 208. They used to have security up on the rafters, like that catwalk.
Oh
And
yeah,
they would sit two ushers there, and they'd be up top, and they'd be staring like this,
just watching us.
just watching
like-
us.
Well, that's like at the back at the Meadowlands. The Redcoats would always be around us. They would
Oh,
always be
yeah.
up top at 218. The Redcoats would just be following us. Maybe it's
Man, I
us.
used to-
Maybe it's us.
I used to get away
The
with a
fights
lot of
always follow me. The fights
I used to get
always
away with a lot of
follow me. I don't have to do anything. I'm like a fight magnet at sporting events.
That's a show one day of just the things you've done at a Devils game. That's just the.
Oh my
And
god!
we should do like a Zoom. We should do a Zoom call, because we could fill an entire like month's worth of episodes with the stuff that
Yeah.
that the four of us have done. We should have like Zoom calls where we like vet them through and just kind of pick the best stories and let the person go on the podcast and like share your experience of the time that you were quote unquote thrown down the stairs by security. Scotty
Yeah.
knows what I'm talking about.
I can remember just when G-Pens started and no one knew what all that stuff was. You know, they're like, "Oh, that's just tobacco." I'm like, "Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, okay." No, just like it was just like clouds of vape smoke, like all in the upper decks there, and you know, like everyone just thinks it's not what it
Tobacco.
actually is. Yeah.
Well, guys,
Why are you guys so excited?
Sam's like, "Maybe we should wrap up now."
well, about a week ago, I found my old hard drive. We should do a bit
Oh,
called
yeah.
Woo's Hard Drive. There's a
Oh,
treasure trove of things going back to the year 1999 that we used to do in the parking lot. And some of that stuff,
Oh my god!
I sent Shorts
Park
Guy.
lot, forget it.
Well, remember the Bruins when we beat the Bruins, and I had that Cheers video.
Oh
of,
yeah.
snow plowing. Yeah, like that's the kind of stuff I've got. I hadn't seen that
Yep.
stuff in years. So
yeah,
Ranger
Just
Hate
the
Week,
trouble-
We're gonna release a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
that. We're gonna declassify a lot of the crap we used to do in the parking lot.
All right, I think
good
we
old
should
days.
do our final thoughts here. We got a
Final
minute
thought.
30. Final thoughts. Let's go New
Oh,
Jersey
here comes
over
the-
New York. There we go.
That's your final thought? That's a good final thought.
Yeah, New Jersey over New York. Islanders over the
I'll do-
Rangers.
I'll do a bold prediction. Final thought.
Mhm.
Bold prediction for next game is Mikey McLeod gets back on the scoring sheet, puts the biscuit in the basket, and gets one on the win column.
Okay.
All right. Well, my final thought is I feel lucky, blessed, and privileged to be able to be going on Tuesday and to see our
Yeah.
Devils in person for the first time in a
Damn
year.
straight.
So I will say that's my final thought. And anyone else that's going, feel the same way. Feel lucky, feel blessed, feel privileged, and let's have a good time.
Hell yeah. Let the beer flow and the good times flow even more.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to have an excellent pregame pop-up podcast somewhere around outside there around the arena, Short Sky. And we're going to have post-game somewhere around outside of the arena safely, keeping our distance. And I'm probably going to buy unlimited amount of popcorn inside the arena, and I'm probably going to eat it all.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
All right.
We'll keep track of Samu's food consumption.
Well, thank you for all watching. This ends the triple header Sunday of the Let's Go Devils podcast. See you tomorrow on the Woo Report. Till next time, let's go Devils.